What? I'm Bloody Oliver. In this video, we will see how many problems we can find at the beginning of the project. Is that so? In the beginning is just a problem, then the solution, then despair. See, the thing is still quiet yet. Well, at this stage of the project, it's natural that we have a lot of problems to solve. How kind of problems? Because several steps are being taken at the same time. And this shows us modeling problems. Problems of rig, character expression problems, okay? The first of these problems happens in the scene here. Look, this is theoretically the second scene of Pull-It in the project. I needed to make some changes. Look how the initial scene is without effects. I put a layer to control the glow, and I put a layer to control the reflex in the eye, to adjust the intensity, like I did in the first scene in the previous video. I faced a lot of technical problems to produce this scene. The first one is, the model look at is based on Paul Neal's tutorial, and I think I made a mistake in the process. We have find the rotation modifier and activate look at instead of the axis constraint. With the axis constraint activated, the eyeball stays rotating. The correct thing is to apply look at so the eye does not rotate. And always look at the position of the control point. This is a serious problem in the scene because the eyes was spinning inside the ocular cavity on the frontal axis. Got crazy. A very serious aesthetic problem in the final scene. The second thing is the material from the back of the eye. It's a multiple material converted from V-Ray to Corona render. What happened? I had thinned down the refractive color a little. Or rather, I diminished that color a lot, because gray caused the impressions of the thick eye. The black part of the gray eye makes the eye dead. How each of the scenes would have to be adjusted, one by one. One of the things that will happen is that I'm going to need to render the first scene again, because the glows are exaggerated, the dilation is wrong, and the eye is gray. All this problem. Another problem from my large list of problems to solve. It relates to the finalization of this object with its landing foot. I took the model of the scene as a reference to make some corrections in final model. Notice that the piece of the scene ends up moving below ground level, and I needed to correct this movement. More problems. I can apply in the wrong way, but very simple. I can apply cylindrical and planar UV mapping in the model, in all parts of the model, so that I can study what I need. Look, I opened the file in Substance Painter, and I put some material attributes. So I begin to define what the process will be. Mapping. Look, there are several possibilities. We can use render to texture. We can adjust the map through polygroups, or through scenes, on the unwrap UVW map, or simply work with multiple materials, like this one. This is a material that has 3 separate submaterials, and I separate the objects according to the material number. I'm still not very sure about which the simplest and most efficient method, what we need to adopt and take on the project for the mapping of the model. Finally, I discovered a few things while doing this test. Look, I still have the land and foot dragon on the ground. Corona render is different from V-Ray. In V-Ray, when we have duplicate elements in the scene, if we have one piece over the other in the scene in duplicate, V-Ray renders the scene with flicker. The Corona does not do that. We did not realize that we made this mistake in the scene. However, this hurts the calculation and render takes much longer than normal. This happens when the parts of model are overlapped. And it's an additional danger, okay? We need to be vigilant, so that nothing wrong happens in the scene imagined. When we do correct management of the piece in the scene, we need to avoid duplicate models or elements. Lastly again, hide selection, Alt W. I have already told you that I intend to make a new draft, a new layout, from the ship fairing. Because I have several modeling problems here. Okay? One of them is this. It is common when you model a weapon, for example, that you have a single mapping axis. An airplane has 2 axes, one of the fairing and one of the wings. This means that it may be much simpler. We can cut off the wings and separate from the fairing as a separated element. As we had originally planned, the fairing has several finish problems. These problems we will have to solve. To have a good aesthetic, like the ship out there in hard surface studies. See you on the next.
A nave voa voando que o voo é veloz. The ships fly high because it's a speed fly.
Se você gostou, não esquece da gente. A gente precisa da sua participação para continuar por aqui. Ensino gratuito de tecnologia, eu abraço essa causa. Abraço você também.